Welcome, fellow Stardust. Are you ready for a scare? Thank you for stopping by my brand new channel here on my very first video. Here I'll be doing horror film reviews, story narrations, along with talking a little bit about true crime. I'll be uploading every Thursday and Friday. Today's film review is on House of a Thousand Corpses, written and directed by none other than Rob Zombie. This film is about a group of teens who are writing a book on urban legends focused on murder. They're played by Rainn Wilson, Aaron Daniels, Charles Hardwick, and Jennifer Jostin. It's pretty cool seeing Rainn Wilson in something else other than The Office. They are captured by a family of serial killers. They are played by Sid Haig, Sherry Moon Zombie, Karen Black, and Bill Moseley. Rob Zombie thought of this film while working at a haunted house at Universal Studios. The first year he did it, and it was kind of based off of his music video that he had done for his heavy metal band, White Zombie. The second year they decided to do the haunted house, Rob Zombie wanted to do something a little bit different, and so he came up with the name for the haunted attraction, House of a Thousand Corpses. Somewhere in there he felt he had a film idea, but it wasn't a fully thought out idea. So while shooting the film, they're using the actual haunted house attraction ride at Universal Studios for the film. Customers were going through it, and they didn't know they were going through a film set until the movie had come out. After the test screening of the film, Universal Studios knew that this was going to have an NC-17 or rated R rating, and so they didn't want to call the haunted attraction House of a Thousand Corpses because it was going to be for all ages. And so they instead changed the name to the haunted house, The Great American Nightmare. But today it does stand as House of a Thousand Corpses, both in LA and in Florida. The film was completed in about 2000, but after the test screening, Universal decided to shelve it because they felt it was a bit too gory and they didn't have an audience for it. They weren't really doing a whole lot of horror at the time either. But eventually Rob Zombie was able to get the rights back to the film and then sell them to Lionsgate, who finally released the film in 2003. In an interview, Rob Zombie jokes about how Universal Studios basically fires him, and 20 years later they still have those haunted house attractions called House of a Thousand Corpses. This really paved the way for more horror gore in the 2000s, because in the 90s they had kind of fizzled out a bit. In the 90s, films were kind of more geared toward teens, and there was blood, but there wasn't a whole lot of blood, and you were alluded to a lot of creatures and things instead of actually seeing them. So you had your films like The Faculty, I Know What You Did Last Summer, what else? Scream and things like that, and The Blair Witch Project.
I'm scared to close my eyes.
And I do love those kinds of films that build tension in that way, but I do also love My Blood and Guts. This film paved the way for Hostel and the whole Saw franchise. Those are my absolute favorite horror gore films, along with this one. Rob Zombie was of course inspired by two of my favorites, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Hills Have Eyes, and I also love the remakes of both of those films as well. This is Rob Zombie's feature debut. As I mentioned before, he was directing a bunch of music videos for his heavy metal band, White Zombie. And so in this first film of 3, you do get a lot of music video vibes. You've got these gritty, chaotic shots mixed with these nice, clean cinematic shots. The film is set in the 70s, and you do get those 70s vibes, so the juxtaposition between these two kinds of styles just make for more tense moments and those scary moments. I'll be getting into some spoilers here, but I don't think knowing these things are gonna make you enjoy the film any less. You're kind of watching the film to see these things being played out. Based on the trailer and description, you kind of already know what's gonna happen. And fair warning, this might be a bit too much for the average moviegoer, or for somebody who says they like scary films, but they don't necessarily like horror gore films. This might be a bit too bloody for you, but this is exactly why I love this film. That's not to say that I will just watch any old nasty bloody thing. A good horror gore film is something that I can really appreciate. I don't want to see, you know, animals getting hurt or bugs getting squashed, but show me anybody getting their neck sliced and I'm a happy camper. In this film in particular, you kind of get more of a kick out of watching these kids, you know, get taken down one by one. You know, we don't really connect with the kids or sympathize with them. They're annoying, they're impatient, they're ungrateful. At the very start of the film, we already start to build a positive relationship with the serial killer family. You know, Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding, is kind of a likable character at the start. You know, he's nice to his friend, and then, you know, he's got, you know, these two guys attempting to rob him, but he's able to hold it down and keep the store in order. Then, you know, we're introduced to these kids who are already just, you know, not our cup of tea. And so when they come in contact with Captain Spaulding and his family, we're kind of cheering on the Firefly family. This is a reason why I think Rob Zombie talks about wanting folks who aren't necessarily into horror gore watching this film. He's interested in capturing that crowd. He wants to see the feelings and thoughts of people who might not like this type of film, because you do get this opportunity. He doesn't mention this, but I can imagine, but you get the opportunity to connect with the other side, which is something that you wouldn't normally do. And you know, as soon as they get on that ride, that this is the beginning to their end. Just when you think it can't get that much more gory, Rob Zombie pushes it even further. Here you go, I'm gonna show you a clip of one of my favorite scenes in the film.
Poopy pants, what's new?
Where the fuck is Bill? Where's Denise? You can't keep us here!
Shut up! Hey, you wanna play a guessing game? Guess what number I'm thinking of.
Die. No, wait, please, come on, stop it! What do you want? What do you want from me? What do you want from
Please
us?
be quiet, I don't wanna slip. Okay, one more. You get this right, I'll let you go. If you get it wrong, you are f***ed. Okay, who's my favorite movie star?
I don't know. Marilyn Monroe.
No, Betty Davis. Sorry, you lose!
The atmosphere is nasty. It's dingy, and you know it stank. They have all those little artifacts scattered everywhere, and you just know it is from their past victims. It can feel the muskiness and the uncleanliness. But as a foodie, even amongst all that nastiness, I did see them Smarties and those little wax bottles next to the register, and I still wanted to run out and get me some. Overall, I really enjoyed this film. I love all the visual elements. For me, the story is there. I really love exploring the minds of serial killers. While these aren't real folks, but I love movies based on that. I love true crime stories. If there's a true crime podcast, I'm probably gonna listen to it. If there's a new show, I'm probably gonna watch it. I'm just fascinated by the choices that these folks make. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to join the Rainbow Fright Freight Train, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you'll get notified every single Thursday and Friday when I post more videos like this. As a matter of fact, I'll be posting my next video tomorrow where I'll be talking about family annihilator John List and doing these nails. All right, y'all. Peace.